Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to Bringing the Vision video. What I guess today is the only build you will need for the Assault Global Event. If you guys don't know, yes, right now, if you get on the game, the Assault Global Event is active. The gear sets you can get from it are Reclaimer, Striker, or Sentry if you don't have any of those classified pieces, or if you're missing like one or two from whatever set, then you can get on right now and get those really easy. But anyways, I want to show you guys the build I've been using for this global event. I actually made a video like this back before when GE Assault got first announced. A lot of you guys liked that video, a lot of you guys found it helpful, so I do understand there's, some new people coming back or there's returning players, whatever the case is. So I do want to make this video once again and show you guys the build I've been using since pretty much the first day of this global event when it first came out a couple of months ago. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video or find it helpful, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for my videos, and let's get right into this. First of all, I do want to go over the modifiers really quickly for this global event. If you guys are, new or whatever the case is and you're not really sure how these modifiers work, it's really simple, and you also can get a little backstory of why I'm using this build and why I think you should make this build and use it for this GE. So the first one that's always active is called Assault. Pretty much the agents deal more damage whenever you're close, so pretty much using anything, really close quarters like an SMG and stuff like that is going to be key. Next up we have Crucial Assault. This is pretty much the assault behavior plus enemy damage is increased at longer range. So once again, you do not want to be far away, you want to be as close as possible to the enemies, so you want to do more damage and also don't take a lot of damage from them. Last but not least, we have the Major Assault, and this is pretty much the Crucial Assault behavior plus agent damage increases near other agents and enemy damage increases when agents are separated. Alright, so since we went over the modifiers and you guys kind of know the backstory, as I said, if you're new or returning, this is the build I am using for this GE. As you guys can see, it is a 6-piece classified D3 FNC build. First of all, it is okay if you do not have a 6-piece. I will show you guys a other option you can make with just normal gear or with a Ninja Bike backpack in a little bit. So once again, don't worry if you don't have the full classified build of this. But anyways, for the weapon, I am using the House. As you guys can see, it is with Vicious and Deadly, and also the card counter Exotic Talents. For this build, I do like using Vicious because you don't really get damaged a lot. Yes, you might, take some damage here and there, but in most cases, and pretty much like 90% of the match or the mission that you're doing, you're going to be at full health because of the shield, how strong it is, and how much it's going to protect you. So Vicious is very, very clutch, and it's pretty much going to give you, 10% extra critical hit chance, and pretty much just more damage in general. I'm also using Deadly. This paired up with critical hit chance on, with Vicious or even on my gear is going to help me out a lot. So Deadly is a really good option. You can also go with something like Destructive or Ferocious. It just really depends on you and what you can get. Also, if you do not have the House, I would recommend using something like the AUG. The PP19 is actually really, really good since how many bullets it has in its magazine. Or like the Navy MP5N is really good as well. For the weapon mods, I'm using everything with critical hit chance and critical hit damage. So once again, on my magazine, crit chance, critical hit damage, my scope, I'm using 18% critical hit damage, headshot damage, critical hit chance, my muzzle brake, and also my grip. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the weapon. As for the secondary, you can pretty much use whatever you want. I'm using lightweight M4 just for a little bit extra range if if my shield explodes or if I just need to kill something a little bit further. The lightweight M4 is really nice as well. You can use a sniper, you can use something like an LMG for more bullets. It just really depends. It just really depends on you and what you want. As for the gear, so once again, 6-piece classified D3. I'm going to go over the gear mods first, so it's a little bit easier to kind of understand and stuff. So for my chest piece, I'm using 2 firearms and skill power mods. Now the reason I do have skill power on this is because I do want to get over the 125k kind of threshold on my skill power so my shield gets the maximum kind of health. And if you don't do this, your shield's going to max out like 200k health away from being maxed, or like 100k, it's something like that. But you always want to be over the threshold of 124k or 125k, I forgot which one it is, but that's why I am using skill power gear mods. As for the mask, we're using a stamina and skill power mod, just pretty much get myself over 9k stamina so my shield is even stronger. For the knee pads, we're using firearms and skill power once again, and this time we're using a 4% ballistic shield damage mod. I'm actually using this for a bit more weapon damage. You can use something like damage resilience on the shield. That's pretty good as well, but honestly, if you're using 9k stamina with a D3 build and you also go over the 124, 125k threshold with skill power, you don't really need that much protection, you don't really need your shield to be that strong, so I just invest that into pretty much shield damage and just melt NPCs even faster. On the backpack, we're using firearm skill power once again with the same 4% ballistic shield damage mods, and then last but not least for the holster, we're using the same exact mod. Now, if you don't have this classified, it is okay. As I said, this is the first option you can make with a Ninja Bike backpack. As you guys can see, I am using 3 pieces of D3 and also a Ninja Bike backpack with 1 piece Nomad, and I'm also using Pred. Now, I'm using Pred for the reload speed. It's not something that's going to change your build that much. You can use something a little bit different, like Final Measures for the EDR, or just pretty much whatever you want. Also, the Nomad is going to give me 15% health on kill. It's not really necessary, but it's really up to you. That's what I like using. And also the Ninja Bike backpack is, key for this build. And then 3 pieces of D3, just so I can use a SMG with the shield. Also, if you guys don't like this combination, you can use this, pretty much 2 striker, a Ninja Bike backpack, and 3 pieces of D3. This is going to give you a bit more enemy armor damage. So, you have a choice right there. And lastly, if you guys don't have a Ninja Bike backpack, you can make this with regular gear. And this is how it's going to look. So first of all, 4 pieces of D3 pretty much get the shield and the SMG combo going. And also I'm using 2 pieces of Pred for the reload speed. But once again, you guys don't have to use that. You can use something like 2 pieces of Final Measures and get yourself some extra EDR for the build. Anyways, getting back to the regular build, so this is what I'm actually using on my chest piece. As you guys can see, it is a stamina roll with enemy armor damage, EDR, and ammo capacity. For the mask, we're using stamina once again with skill power, damage to elite. Damage to elite is a must on this build for both the mask and the knee pads, so just keep that in mind. For the knee pads, I'm using stamina again with critical hit damage, damage to elite, disarm resistance, and increased kill XP. For the backpack, guess what? We have stamina again with skill power, bleed resistance. For the gloves, I'm using stamina with critical hit damage, SMG damage, and enemy armor damage. Honestly, a lot of people tell me why I don't use, or kind of ask me why I don't use critical hit chance on this. And the answer is pretty simple. I already have Vicious, I already have enough critical hit chance in my opinion. So I would rather take the enemy armor damage and melt the NPCs a little bit quicker. But it's really up to you. If you guys don't like using enemy armor damage for some reason, using crit chance is your next best option. And lastly, for the holster, I'm using reload speed. And this is the same thing with critical hit chance on this. Yes, it might give you a bit more damage, but I already have enough critical hit chance with Vicious and, all the other critical hit chance rolls on my gear. So I'm using reload speed just so I can get a bit more faster reloading and obviously put out more damage and DPS in the mission. Also, I do want to show you guys the character stats. I know a lot of you guys kind of ask for this in the comments. So for the weapon damage, I'm sitting at 16.2k. 39% critical hit chance, 125% critical hit damage, 61% headshot damage, which isn't really that important with this build. Next up, I'm sitting at 381,000 max health, which, as I said, it doesn't really matter that much. It's all about your shield and how much health your actual shield has. And then for the skill haste, I have 0%, which, as I said, is kind of useless in 1.8.2, at least with this build. Last but not least, I'm going to show you guys the abilities and my talents and stuff like that. So for the shield, I'm actually using the Assault Shield. I like this one because it gives you a bit more weapon damage. It also gives you faster reloading and better accuracy and stuff like that. And as you guys can see, I'm sitting at 2.35 million health on the shield. This is the max health you can get on the shield in the game. So that's why you always want to go over that threshold, as I said in the beginning, over the 125,000 skill power or 124,000. Also, I am using a ammo box, and this is actually kind of dependent on you. If you run with someone that's using like Reclaimer or has an ammo station, you can take this off, put out a booster shot or a pulse or a flame turret. It's up to you. But I usually play solo or with random people, so I'm using an ammo station just so I don't run out of ammo during long missions or like legendaries or incursions, stuff like that. That's why I like using it. Recovery link is a must. Nothing really special about that. And for the talents, I'm using Adrenaline, Critical Save, Precision, and On the Move. So yeah, that is pretty much my build. This is what I've been using for this global event since it came out a few months ago. I've been using this build, absolutely love it. It's really easy to use. If you're solo, if you're with a party, if you're with randoms, whatever the case is, whipping out this build is going to help you a lot and do so much freaking damage. Even with 4,000 firearms, you're going to be doing so much damage because the shield bonuses and also the, the modifiers and stuff like that. This is pretty much the best build, I would say, at least in my opinion, for this global event. Anyways, that's it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I respond to all my comments, but once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.